Welcome back to yet another video, my powerful MBP family. This is your girl Miss Bev with yet another evening reflection. Let me hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that it is blessed and that God will make it multiply. So tonight, a couple of things we're going to reflect on. You know, this is Jamaica and yeah, the killings are still going on. Police are killing, criminals are killing. The robberies are going on. You know, people park in their car, they come back, it's gone. People go to bank, draw them money, put in them vehicle. Just so coincidental. 10 vehicles park in a space and the robbers don't go to that vehicle or that vehicle or that vehicle and break in and take out the thousands of dollars. They broke right into the person who just came from the bank and drove a couple miles, a couple minutes across to somewhere else. All of a sudden, the vehicle is broken into and the money is gone. People are still breaking into people's house. One person, one take away, one man just get locked up because woman wake up, man in our room trying to touch her. Luckily, when she scream out, somebody was in the house as well. Another person ran in. The man jumped through the window and ran away. The police caught him. So there's a lot going on in little Jamaica. Jamaica is no different from anywhere else in certain parts of the world. Because certain parts of the world people learn how to coexist in a decent manner. But Jamaica is no different from those with the troubles and the graveliciousness and the bad minds and the kind of behaviors that create the anger and the murders and because murders stem from somewhere. They don't just get up and happen. It comes from somewhere. Whether it's something you have that people want, right? Whether it's something that people were involved in and then somebody trying to rob somebody else. Whether it's an argument that went out of control. But murders don't just happen unless you're standing in a careless spot and people drive by shooting down who they want to shoot down, you were standing there. So it's still going on here in little Jamaica. I wish it would have changed because Jamaica has so much to offer, but those bad things are taken away. But we're hoping that as police get involved and as things get, that people start using their heads and know that we're killing off our own people. We're killing off one another for no reason. How are we going to grow? How will our population grow? Soon we won't have enough people in Jamaica to even vote. Unless there are foreigners who come in, and you will see the influx of foreigners really coming in and appreciating the sunny Jamaica, the fruits, all the beautiful attributes that Jamaica has. They're coming in droves, and they're building and they're buying and they're living and they're enjoying the beaches and all the other things, the tropical fruits, the tropical plants, the nature, the natural beauty of Jamaica. They're coming in and they're enjoying it. But tonight I want to talk about someone who is Jamaican. And as I started to reflect on this person, this entrepreneur, I thought of myself, and how I was doing something similar, but gave up. I didn't get out there and market it, I guess because I was teaching and didn't think I had the time. But he said this for St. Anne businessman Omar Lawrence. Big up yourself, Mr. Omar Lawrence. I'm so proud of you. Entrepreneurship has been a lesson of faith and sacrifice with a hefty dose of hard work and an openness to learn and grow. What started as a tiny venture in the confines of his living room in Orakabessa, St. Mary, he said, where is it? In Oracas, where is it? Oh, well, I don't find the rest of it. But guys, he started out doing t-shirts. That's what I wanted to tell you. And now it has ventured off into something huge. Something huge. And so I'm saying, unlike me, my thing was I gave away so many shirts that and I really didn't have the time to market it the way I should. I had a website, I had all of those things, but I should have marketed more. I should have opened up to do people's shirts instead of just wanting to do my shirts. I did started doing a few business places that asked me to do shirts for them and all of that. I remember Miss Marmar, she's a member now of my thing. She became a member. I'm so thankful to her. When she was starting up her business, I did shirts for her. I know Sister Dawkins, when she does her thing, IHS Ministries, I did shirts for her. I did shirts for quite a few. But I wasn't consistently looking for people. I wasn't out there marketing, And so as I got older and I came down here, I trained somebody who could benefit, and I just handed over all my t-shirts, the machine, everything. And the machine comes with pieces that you could, if you see this man's story, Mr. Lawrence's story, you'll see some of the things that he did as well. He marketed shirts and different water things, glasses, all sorts of different things he marketed. He did the breast thing here. He does the back of the shirts. He did well. He's doing well. And so, as I said, it's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of prayer, a lot of faith, and a lot of, what else he said? A lot of prayer, a lot of faith, and a lot of hard work. So, hats off to you, sir. Many people sit in Jamaica and they feel like, oh, I don't know what to do, I have nothing to do, I don't have anything, nobody helping me. But sometimes we have to get up, and try to do something for ourselves. The next thing, police are finding guns all over and they're collecting them, they're searching. The police are really out and about doing a lot of good work. So we have to give kudos out to them as well. But one of the other things I wanted to reflect on tonight, this thing as well, where a big accident happened and they're blaming the Water Commission people for it happening. Because you know what? They get up in the morning and they said a big truck overturned, crashed in St. Anne there, and it backed up traffic for over 5 hours. One man they spoke to, diabetic, he said was heading to Kingston to get his insulin because that's where it is, and he said he didn't have any, and he says he's sitting there in traffic and he's just praying that he doesn't pass out because he has no insulin, and they're just sitting in traffic as police try to clear the space there that was blocked because of the accident. The man said he got up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, heard the loud thing, and when he looked out, gazebo gone, fence gone, everything, and the big smoke because it hit the brick wall. It seems it had a lot of dust, and so he said when he came out he realized it was a a vehicle, a truck, a truck that crashed out there and knocked everything down. But they said what happened is that they worked on the road and they left the dug out space there. And so people driving, if you're not careful, then it seemed like these potholes, man, and these things that they're digging up and leaving out there, it's a recipe for some bad things to happen. So the next thing I want to reflect on tonight is the Chinese mechanics. I always tell people, see, people don't understand these things, that you have these cars coming in, right? Gone are the days when there was Lada, them Cortina L, them kind of vehicle. And a lot of mechanics were trained on those kinds of vehicle. A lot of mechanics are sitting there and they're not trained well to deal with the new kinds of vehicles coming in. So I have a person who has been going to get his car fixed, spent over 43,000. Right? And when I called to reserve the services for
This here's the last time I'm saying it, so y'all better pay attention. There's a simple way to start bringing in cash and all.
When I called to reserve a day to go do grocery shopping and stuff, and I'm waiting for him to give. Usually he'll just tell me, all right, Miss Bev, such and such a time. He wasn't giving me a time frame. So then I reached out to him and I said, okay, you told me you're coming Thursday, but you didn't tell me what time. I keep asking and he says, Miss Bev, right now, guess what? I took the vehicle to my regular mechanic, to two mechanics down here, and spend over 43,000 back and forth. And every time I collect the vehicle and start driving, it's the same problem again. Nothing fixed. And so him said, I'm going now to St. Anne. I'm going to the Chinese mechanic, because since their mechanics can't do anything. So he took it to, they have two of them, one in Kingston, one in St. Anne's Bay, I think, St. Anne's area up there. So he took it to St. Anne's and they look at it and they look at the machine, and now they know what is really wrong. So he's supposed to pick it up tomorrow. Then I was talking to Michelle as well, whose truck was giving some problems, and took it to the guy, and the husband took it. Then the guy said the vehicle is still giving the same problem. The guy is saying that the husband didn't come with the vehicle, and so she must buy back the same tool, something than what they claim him just put in, and bring it, come make him put them in again. She said, why wouldn't we do that? Me just pay you how much thousand? 50,000. Why'd I just pay you 50,000 and to buy them again to come give you? If you just put them in, there shouldn't be a problem. We're still having a problem, and you're telling me to buy them again for you to put in. So she didn't do that. But she went, and what the person did was, now she went to a different mechanic when they put the vehicle up on the machine and was able to diagnose what the real problem was. So, in having the conversation, and I don't know what you think, guys, you tell me what you think. Some people are getting angry that Chinese taking over Jamaica, but Jamaicans are just sitting down too complacent. If you see that all these, what do you call them? All these boxcars are coming from that part of the world, Japan, China, wherever they're coming from. Why aren't you upgrading yourselves? Why not upgrade yourself and learn about these vehicles and be prepared? You see that's what they're running taxi with. That's the vehicle of choice for everybody. Everybody owning one of them. What are they, Voxy? All sorts of different names of them, but the same shape, the same model, coming from the same place. We have to be proactive, guys. We cannot sit down and wait till we start lose bread. Then if they just move in their companies, right? If there wasn't a breakdown with the way people are struggling to get these vehicles fixed when they break down, then China couldn't bring in two. And if they come in, so they might come with everything. They might come in with them machine for test, so you can put up your vehicle and really get the good diagnostics on them. They're not coming piam for. They might come in big and broad. So all the little mechanics on the side are going to get pushed away because they're just relying on the same old behaviors to fix things when things have changed. Things have changed drastically, and as things change, we have to change with the times. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind. So a lot of times we sit down and people come take with job, people come just the same way it happens when we go to when we travel to America, and the jobs are sitting there, but Black Americans are like it's like kryptonite. You don't have a lot of them out there because they can get Section 8, they can get welfare, they can get this, that, they can get all these free things. But when you go there as a foreigner, you have to make ends meet. You're going to go in and go grab the job and you're going to maintain. A lot of people, they get a job this week and they get paid, them disappear. Because they're getting the Section 8, they're getting the welfare. Now, when you go in and you're doing the job, they look at you and they say, yeah, you come take our job. How are we going to come take some if you're there and the jobs are there? My common sense tells me that no foreigner could come get the job if we, who are here or are there, we're taking the jobs and working at the jobs. And, we couldn't have nothing for come take. And then we talk about Jamaicans come to do 3, 4 jobs. Because the jobs are available to be done. So we're going to sit and complain. As I said, Jamaica is so diverse. It is so diverse. I'm telling you, soon it's not good. With the amount of killings and the amount of things we're doing to one another, destroying one another, we're not building. We fight down each other. We fight down on the left, on the right. Our MO is let us destroy. If John Brown is trying to build, we're not going to buy him food. We're not going to support him. But you support the other foreigners who come in. And they come in and they flourish. While we sit here fighting against one another. And so, as I said, soon, the other people I see, I was just looking for the story on the Chinese the Chinese mechanics who moved in, and I'm seeing where somebody on YouTube is saying Jamaica soon be owned by China. Like you soon, we're going to be the minorities in our own country. Because even if you come into the gated communities, that's the gist of it. Where these people come in, I mean, you sit here, sometimes I'm on the veranda, when you look and see how many different nations are driving through these communities, you're like, your mouth hot. Granny used to say, your mouth hot. Your jaw just drop. I remember when we went to Pika, And we had some people from India who comes in there and acting like this is India. Like you should hear the talking to the guy. Like the guy's job is to maintain the parking space in the area, because a small parking space, when you go to Pika, the parking space is small, not huge. You have to drive in off the road, and in St. Anne's Bay, the spaces are so little in the town there. And so you drive in, and then in the back there, I don't think 25 cars can park in there. So there's a guy out by the front there to modify things, to keep things modified. And the guy is standing there and telling them there's no parking space there. But they're insisting that they go in. Let us in. They were telling him, let us in. And what of you? I can sit in the car. And you sit in the car, okay, fine. But they demanded to go in. They didn't even say, all right, let's wait until somebody comes out and then we go. Nope, they demanded the guy had to drop the chain, and so they could drive in. And these are foreigners coming in, not even have citizenship yet, because they were going to pick up, probably to get work papers or to go whatever they were going in there for. So, as I said, soon we have no voice, because we fight against one another instead of build. The Indians come in, they're building, they're taking over, they're doing what they do. The Chinese come in, they're doing likewise, because they observe us and see that we are all about tearing each other down. Look at the mechanic who is telling the lady to come with more money after he got 50,000 already, and the vehicle's still not working, because he's just working on the struts up here when things underneath there needed to be fixed. And so they're gonna keep going and going. Same thing with my driver. Gonna keep going back and going back. And I said, bring it, come back, bring it. They don't know what is wrong. They don't know. And so, now you have Jamaican flock. Cheap Chinese mechanics. Hear that? Cheap Chinese mechanics. So they're not coming to charge how much thousand. This is what we don't understand either. In order to maintain, to keep our business, we have to compete. When we see that broke people back and, I suck the life out of them, look what they're coming and do. You charge 48,000 if you put in 2 struts, and them go and come and charge 25,000. Quick and fast, them take away all of your business. Quick and fast. So you're going to sit there and try to work on 1 or 2 vehicles, and you charge somebody 80,000. You think them going to sit down with you when them can go get the same job done for 25,000 or less at a place that is going to be equipped, well equipped. They are coming, they have their connections to where the vehicles are built, so they are coming with access to the parts quick and fast. The former lady, she said her husband, how much places she had to go before him could find what they needed to do the vehicle. And even when they got it and bring it to the guy still couldn't fix it, the problem still did upon the vehicle. They have to take it to somebody else. So yes, them lining up for service, and the cheap Chinese mechanics. So they call them cheap Chinese mechanics. So it's not easy, But again, we have to have common sense, and we have to think. People come in and they build and they do well, and they leave us sitting there with nothing. They come and they build, and they keep building while we sit down and fight one another. We not come together and build. All right, you know how to do the you know how to do the carburetor. You know how to do the What's the one with the water in it? You know how to do them there. All right, you know how to work on the brakes. You know how to do the transmission. You know how. All right, guys, make we come together and build. That means any vehicle come in, there's a specialist who can work on it. No, we're not going to look like that. You see the next mechanic I try down, they say you cut your ear on him. Nobody knows make we come together and build. And that is our biggest problem. We sit and fight down one another. And watch how we're going to go and support this new place. These new places are coming with the cheap stuff and the cheap service. Because them sit down and plan it out long time. And them know what will work. So we can sit down and blame them all we want and Jamaica soon become a Chinese colony. Because we allow ourselves to become that. And when we sit down and instead of we use our budgets and use our taxpayers' dollars to good things and to build and let everybody strive and make everybody have a piece of the apple or the pie or the pudding or the whatever it is. No, we make it top heavy. So we have the few at the top with the shillings, and then them have the pounds and the dollars and the cents. And then you have the massive at the bottom who can hardly manage. Them can't even pay bus fare for them picnic go to school. Them can't buy food to feed them picnic them properly. You know, people them importing things in other country because as returning residents, a lot of things that are being imported is to the returning residents. I'm allergic to white soap, so I've not used white soap in forever. So honestly, my trusted soap is Tide. So me come a Jamaican, when me pick up a bottle of Tide, I mean look how much for it. Me just say whatever. But that's what me use on my clothes. Okay, it doesn't itch me, I don't get any after effects from it. So that's what is there and I purchase it. Yeah. A regular Jamaican, they laugh at me like, Miss Bev, they have the soap in the bag. I couldn't use that. It would itch me. I would break out in so many hives. So when I tell him, no, I have to use the Tide. Oh my God, Miss Bev, Tide. You know how much bag of soap you could get for that one Tide? And I understand it. So a lot of things they imported and you go in the supermarket and oh my God. But who is it for? It's not for the poor people in Jamaica. And so you wonder what's next. So that is my reflection tonight. Why is it we can't come together and build? Why we cannot learn from all the people who have come into Jamaica and have built? Why can't we look at them? Look at the Chinese when they come. They own this like a piece of property, yes, sir? And they were secure so that them brother from China can come out and get it. Them friend from China can come and get that next little piece, sir. And when you look, them own a whole plaza. So what happened to our people? Why them can't say, okay, we can bring a franchise of McDonald's come in, or we can bring a franchise of Mother's come in, or we can bring a Chick-fil-A franchise come in? Why we cannot think those things? Why? You know why? Because once we get 2 pennies in our hand, we know what? We want big car. We want to drive big car. We don't care if we don't have nothing else, as long as we take our last penny and pick up something from the same Chinese people. So we go over there and we pick up something off of them lot. One of the most expensive something off of them lot. Right? And then look on what them drive. And you pick it up and you not stop to say as soon as it come off of the lot, the value decrease. You don't care. As long as you drive a fancy car, a Beamer, you drive a this and that. And it is hurting our population. We're too much into stuff. So we don't build and then we have nothing. Nothing. And because of that, they look at our behavior. They come in and they study us, They study us and they know how we are. And so They know exactly how to come in and take everything over. The man over there that is saying, we're colony, that's what it is. They're building roads, they're bringing their engineers to build all these highways and give us good roads. So many getting killed. Over 110 the last time I heard it. Already killed on the roadways. And this is only the ones reported. We're not hearing all the news. There's so much that we're not hearing. And so, you get nice highway, but then think about it, guys, because I have to reflect on all of this as it relates to the mechanics and the roadway and the debts. You think of it, with so many buying license, they don't understand one thing more than to hold the vehicle and to overtake and kill off people. Because when them overtake, them put people in these positions where it is hard. Can you see them coming? You have a turn and they start marking off the space. They're telling you that this space right here, it's to prepare you to start getting into your lane to make your right turn. Yet, you have people who cannot be patient and they want to fly through. You are making the turn and they're coming up into that space because that's how they drive here. Any space them see on the road where them not have to slow down because them a drive big car and the big car them not have to wait, them not have to follow any of the rules of the road. Them for just go. And when they're going through, if you are the one, you have to look out for them because them not care. So you might end up running off the road because of these people. Some of the accidents are because nobody is there to tell what happened. Who knows? Because they're not patient. They don't know how to use the roadways. And so they create accidents and keep going. Probably laughing. Because a lot of them, they're drinking, they're drunk, they don't know, and they just keep going. They're driving, the ganja in them lips and them driving. Them driving, the buckle them between their leg, and them a sip and drive. Everybody, they just seem so, me got this one, me know the road at the back of my hand. And so they create all these accidents. This is just April. Over 110 dead already on the roadway. So what the count is going to be by the end of the year. Heaven help us, because the saga continues. The saga continues. Because nothing not change. People still going to come up with money to buy a license. You don't go up on the road no more. Remember years ago you have learners on the back of your car because you learn to navigate the road. You don't ever see that anymore. Because people just go buy a license. And then them go out on the roadways, and when things happen and they don't know how to handle it, then them run off people off on the road, or them cause these huge accidents when innocent people getting killed. So let us keep praying up Jamaica people, because boy, I'm tell you, it's a lot to analyze. It's a lot to reflect on. It's a whole lot. But just enjoy it still. Enjoy the best of it, and just keep going and praying, and hope that God will just jump in the midst and do what needs to be done. So remember to like the video, share the video, guys. Watch the ads that come on the videos. That's how you support Miss Bev as we continue onward and upwards. Make it a great night by choice. Much love and respect to all of you. Good night.